Shalom, everybody. How are you? This is Moshe Goldsmith. We're back here in the land. And right now we're standing outside our brand new visitor center, and we're looking at a tree called the fig tree. The fig tree in English is known as the ficus. So it's like a ficus tree. It's in the family of the mulberry family, believe it or not. We can see by these beautiful leaves. You can see these big leaves of the fig tree. Now in Israel, it's an indigenous tree. It grows here in the land. It's natural for the Mediterranean. Unlike countries of the world where they have a major problem when it comes to fertilizing the fig tree. Why? Because if you look at a fig, in reality, this one's almost ready yet, but this is ready. I'll pick it for my sisters here visiting. And here we go. Take a look at that fig. Here, Avram. Check this beautiful fig out. This is one of the beautiful color, purple color of a fig. Now, how do you know when a fig is ready? The fig tree has what we call a sap in it, which is like milk. Take a look here. If I break open a branch, or a leaf or something, you see it's pretty strong leaves here, but if I get them open here, you see that milk coming out? That milk, that sap is used, it's a great wart fighter. If someone has a wart, you can put a little of that sap, don't touch it because that could burn. A lot of people pick a fig before it's ready, and that sap can burn their lips. You gotta make sure you pick it when it's nice and soft like this and delicious. Well, what a delicious smell here. But more than this, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the fig tree. What is so special about it is that this in reality is not a regular fruit. This is a flower. And it's like a flower that's inverted. You see the flower inside? Look, fascinating. In here, these are the little parts of the flower. And what becomes a fruit are the ovules, the female ovaries, and they all mature. But the question is, how do they get fertilized if they're inside a flower? It's like part of the stem of the fig. How do they become fertilized? Well, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God created a little tiny wasp. It's really not a wasp, it looks like a little thing about 2 millimeters. And what they do is, they make a hole right here, they go right through a little hole, and basically it's the female. And why the female? The female wants to obviously worry about procreation. She wants to make sure that her life cycle continues. So she looks around for another fig, an unripened fig, to go in. But, interestingly, it's only the male figs. What are male figs? Figs that do not give fruit. So it just looks like the same thing, but it remains hard and they fall off. They really can't give any fruit. She goes, buries herself inside the male fig, and there she lays her eggs, and they all run around picking up the pollens, the male pollens. Then they go in randomly picking other figs, and when they enter a female fig, all the flowers are there waiting to be pollinated, and they pollinate them. And then they become ripe from the inside, and it turns into a delicious fig. Now we know the fig is one of the species the land of Israel was praised for. It's one of the Shivat HaMinim, the 7 species. And they grow so naturally and beautifully in the land. Think about it, every fig tree, every species of fig tree has a particular wasp that fertilizes it. And if it's fertilized, what's fascinating is when the female goes in, she actually commits suicide because she has to squeeze herself in, dismembering her wings, and she can't get out anymore, just to give birth and to continue the next generation. So it's a tree that seems to remind us of the land of Israel, fighting for the land, that ability to go forward, to sacrifice yourself for the future. That's really what the fig tree is all about. And again, it's blessed. It's mentioned many times in the Tanakh, in the Bible, many times in the Talmud, and it's one of the trees. This year is a sabbatical year, so this is the holiness of the sabbatical year. This is a special fruit called Kedushat Shvi. It has the holiness of the Shavi'it, the Shemitah year. So whoever wants to enjoy this, please, you can. Have a beautiful, beautiful Shabbat, and we will continue next time. Bye-bye.